one of the best uses. And there you have it. Pretty cool. East German military backpacks. I've got 3 backpacks out here, and they all look the same, but they're actually a little bit different. These are all German military issue. This is the real deal. They used to be pretty common. They're starting to get a little bit scarce, I've noticed. Practically they were giving them away. They're made of that raindrop pattern, all of them. Originally they came in Blumentarn. I think maybe sometimes some of the earlier ones were maybe even kind of a dark green color that I've seen. I'm kind of a gear nerd, and if you are too, you're going to kind of want to watch this video because I'm going to go over a couple of things. Now, of course, I'm like a survivalist and a hiker and an outdoors person first, but I'm also a collector. So the most common one you'll see, these are like, you know, they make great day packs, number one. They've got these metal buckles on it, which is great. The construction of these is fantastic. They're extremely rugged. And I've had people, I've asked about these in surplus stores before, and in some places people have laughed about them and they're like, well, that's like a little kid's backpack. Actually, no. They're perfect as a day sack. Maybe they're good enough also to be a 3-day pack. And the important thing is like this one, most of the ones that you see have this sort of rubberized, sort of vinyl interior, which makes them almost completely waterproof. See that? Isn't that great? And also, they're the best of both worlds because they're very, very light, but they're also extremely rugged. And it's not every day that you get a light backpack that is also unbelievably rugged. Like a lot of modern commercial packs, you know, they're really lightweight, but they can also rip easily. These are not going to rip. Now this next one is a little bit different. On the inside, you can see it's still the raindrop pattern. And I picked that one up yesterday at the surplus place, just because I thought that it was different and very unusual. Now the next one is an olive drab interior. It's just regular canvas. Now these aren't going to be as desirable as the waterproof one, but I just thought that these were interesting and much rarer, really, you know, as far as collector's pieces. I hardly ever see them like that. Not as useful, actually, as this one, which I've got a couple others of these, too. And this is the best one because this is great for deep woods bushcraft. If you want something that's, if it starts raining on you, that you don't have to even cover up. Now, I'm a survivalist and an outdoorsman and a hiker first, and a prepper, but I am a huge gear nerd, like I've said. And so I'm a collector. I enjoy collecting, and I'm kind of a backpack maximalist. And I enjoy the different variations. So let's take a look at this example here. And it does have this this great, you know, it has that kind of European kind of vinyl that you see. You'll see that on a lot of Eastern and Central Europe. A lot of armies will have that kind of a vinyl, really, more than a rubber. And it's also all through here, all through the stitching, all this waterproofing. So for like really good deep woods bushcraft, this would be great. Keep all your gear from getting wet. Now they all do come with, you know, the crafty little the little bikini straps that comes with it. And they're meant to hook into load-bearing equipment. So they're really not that great. I end up replacing those, and I'll show you in a minute how I handle all that. So this next example, it's really the same thing. It's the same material and everything, except this one on the inside continues on with a little bit greener version of the streak tarn, the splinter pattern, raindrop pattern, all the way inside the interior, as you see here. And I really like this. I had to have it because I've never seen one like this. Just to be a nerd. That's really neat. That might be Zeltbond material that's in there. Maybe they had whatever it was that they had at the time, and they just decided to go ahead and use a bolt of that material in there. There's got to be people out there that were in the German army who, like, I was a teenager when the wall came down. So, I mean, there's people out there my age, maybe even people have been in it over the years, because it goes way back to the 50s. Some of this stuff. There's plenty of people that have experienced using this material, or know about the manufacturer. I'd love for somebody to tell me. I don't like it when my viewers stay silent about things. I've known a lot of people who are in the West German Army who've contacted me, and they've told me about the stuff that they've used, and that they also test out this gear also. Now here's the next one, and this one seems a little bit more kind of crumpled. I don't know why that is. It's the same material, but it doesn't seem to have the shape and retained shape like this one does, like the other two. The other two are almost identical except for the lining. So this one, the lining is an olive drab gray color, gray kind of a Feldgrau almost. And it continues on in there. And you have the same type flapping that goes on there that retains all of that. So it's identical in that case, just a different interior again. And like I say, a little bit more rumpled appearance. Might even be slightly different dimensions. It looks like it to me a little bit. You can see what you think. But now you've got this carry handle on there, just like the others, made of the same material. You go to the back part, and you have again the load-bearing harness. That was all part of one system. My Swiss packs are like that. Also, it seems like the Czech pack is that way exactly. Also, it seems like at one point most of these European armies came to the idea that they're going to have, like back in the 50s, let's say, after World War II, they came up with this idea that they're going to have backpacks that hook into their load-bearing equipment and be kind of like an integrated system. And you don't see that these days really, but at one point that seemed like that was kind of in vogue, to have that interface with just the regular Y-straps. Most of the armies of that time period, and I think by maybe the 90s, they may have started to give that up. But I have several packs that are like that, several systems that you could tell that they're part of a system that did that. And I personally really don't like that kind of, it seems like a good idea in theory that you'd have this quick release type system, but I would just rather have regular straps and a belt for my backpacks. So I'll show you in a minute here. Now here is an example of the complete kit. Now I've set it up for my own personal use here, but this is kind of how it goes together. You have the Zeltbond, and you could use any Zeltbond, or Plash Palaka type system. But that's the one that goes with it. And these are various straps here that are, each one is kind of different, but I'm sure they're all sort of East German origin. It came that way, they're just mixed up. But this is the same type pack. This is the preferable type pack. This is the one I've always been using. That has the waterproof interior. And as we turn it over, you'll see that I've done my own modifications to this. And I love showing this off. I'm really proud of this system that I made, and I didn't do any kind of sewing or cutting or anything like that. No real mods really, other than just I kind of readjusted it, what was there. These are Polish Warsaw Pact era. They're Polish, they're very well made, much better made than the German ones. They're heavy duty, they're gonna last forever kind of stuff. And they got padding in it, is the thing. See that? Kind of a wool army blanket type padding. And they interface perfectly in there with it. Just with you can see it goes right into it. Because it's that kind of system. A lot of that East Bloc stuff is kind of similar to some extent. So it's not too difficult. It's not too far of a stretch to use your imagination a little bit to make something out to be something different from when it started. And I've used this a lot. I mean, I've used this a lot. It even has a little cross strap that came with it here, which I'll show you. It's hard to do with one hand here. You get the gist there. There it goes right there. And I've adjusted it to my chest size and everything. And it even has the little bayonet frog on there, which that's for the Kalashnikov bayonet, of course. It would be a whole lot cooler if it was the other direction, really, where you could just go like that. I've tried using it a couple times. I don't really know how effective that. I'll try to experiment with that a little bit more. It kind of gets sort of dangly, but it is there, so you know it's the start of something. But the rest of this has all been tested and used. I love it. It's a perfect setup, and I've added this on kind of how to it. And I'd like to maybe set up a little thing, almost like the World War II A-frame, where I can have my mess kit and everything with it. Let's take a little bit take this apart and take a closer look at it here. So there it is, stripped all the way down. And this is probably how I'm going to maybe keep this for the time being, because I'm going to start using this for some hiking. And I don't necessarily need the shelf recorder with me. But I do like this because it's lightweight, extremely comfortable, and it kind of supports itself.